Hi, my name is Yechiel Hyman, and I'm a Shana Aleph Talmud in Rav Chagai's Shir. So as I started looking for a Dvar Torah, I decided, generally the first place I look is somewhere in Shas. However, I realized quickly that there is no Masechet Hanukkah in Shas, and I was very curious as to why not. So I started looking into it, and I found an answer that came up in a lot of places, which is that right after the story of Hanukkah, the Hashmonaim took over Eretz Yisrael and created their own dynasty. And then, 200 years later, so when Rabbi Yehuda Hanassi was compiling the Mishnah, so he was a member of Shevet Yehuda. The Hashmonaim were members of Shevet Levi. And Shevet Levi were really not supposed to be the leaders of Eretz Yisrael. So Rabbi Yehuda Hanassi, because his family, Shevet Yehuda, was supposed to be the leaders, he was very angry that his family wasn't in charge. So he decided he didn't want to honor Shevet Levi and the Hashmonaim by putting their story in the Mishnah. However, the Lubavitcher Rebbe is not a big fan of this answer, and he has two problems with it. The first problem is that Hanukkah is mentioned elsewhere in Shas, so that's a big issue with it because it comes up elsewhere. The second issue is that Rabbi Yehuda Hanassi wouldn't be so petty as to deprive the rest of us of important information regarding Hanukkah just because of a family feud. Like that, it just doesn't make any sense. So instead, the Lubavitcher Rebbe introduces his own answer, which is that at the time, there was no need for a Masechet Hanukkah, because Hanukkah only happened around 200 years earlier, and it was still fresh in the minds of the Jews. So additionally, there was also, at that point, Megillas Tainus and Megillas Antiochus, which explained more about the story of Hanukkah, and because of all of these things together, the Isser of writing down Torah Sheba'al Peh may still apply, because it was still, there was no fear that people were going to forget it anytime soon. A third answer is brought by a Talmudic scholar, Reuven Margulies, and he suggests that at the time of publishing, of the Mishnah's publishing, it was recently after the Bar Kokhba revolt, and the Romans were at the time in charge of Eretz Yisrael, and they would not have been happy if the Jews started celebrating and made it very public that they were celebrating a revolt that happened a couple of hundred years earlier. They would have gotten very scared, and it would not have been good for the Jews at that time. So now that we discuss why there is no Masechet Hanukkah, I'm sure there's some of you out there who, much like me, are very curious to know where in Shas you can find stuff on Hanukkah. So for those of you who are interested, you can find it in Bikurim Parak Aleph, Rosh Hashanah Parak Aleph, Tainus Parak Gimel, Megillah Parak Gimel, Loikatan Parak Gimel, and Bava Kama Parak Vav. Have a happy Hanukkah, everyone.